Good day, everybody. My name is Georgi Mladenov. I'm an account executive at FXCM South Africa, and today I'll be running through the Metatrader platform with you guys. It is one of the more well-known platforms, so this might prove helpful to a lot of people. So I'm just going to jump straight in. We have available information on FXCM, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. My email is at the bottom here, gmladenov@fxcm.za.com. If you want to reach out to me, it's not a problem. I welcome it. So before we actually start, what I'll do is I'll just run through our disclaimer, and then we can jump into the platform itself. So past performance is not indicative of future results. Examples are displayed for illustrative purposes only and do not guarantee profits. Trading on margin can result in losses that may exceed your deposited funds. Please ensure that you fully understand the risks or seek investment advice if necessary. FXCM provides an execution-only service. Any analysis, opinion, commentary or research-based material contained in this presentation is for information and educational purposes only and is not intended to be an offer, recommendation or solicitation to buy or sell. Leverage is a double-edged sword and can dramatically amplify your profits. It can also just as dramatically amplify your losses. Trading foreign exchange with any level of leverage may not be suitable for all investors. Okay, and then let's just go to the next one. The webinar does not have regard to specific investment objectives, financial situations, and needs for any specific person who may receive it. All videos are provided for educational purposes only, and clients should not rely on the content or policies as they may differ with regards to the entity that you are trading with. Further, any opinions, analysis, prices, or other information contained on this website is provided for educational purposes and does not constitute investment advice. FXCM will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation to any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on such information. Okay, so that's our disclaimer. So let's jump straight in to Metatrader 4. So just to give you an overview of what we'll be discussing today, I'll be discussing how to log in. Yes, it's an easy step, but it is a very crucial one. I'll be discussing the different panes that we have here, the market watch, the navigator, the terminal, and various other aspects of the platform. We'll be discussing the symbols that you can add, so the actual products that you can be trading. We'll place some orders. We'll discuss the sizes of those orders as well. We'll close some positions as well in terms of full positions and partial closing. We'll add some indicators. We'll remove other indicators as well, just to show you the process regarding that. We'll touch on auto trading, which is robots, which is commonly known as, or expert advisors. We'll save the templates so that you don't have to edit your graphs and things like that once you reopen your platform. And we'll play around with the colors a bit, and obviously I'll have the floor open to you guys to ask me any questions that you may need. So let's start off with the login. So when you open your trading account, you'll be prompted with a login pane where you'll have to input your login details and your password and the server that you are using. So the login and the password is quite straightforward. It is very important though to input the correct server. If you do not input the correct server, you will not be able to connect to the live feeds in terms of the prices, and your Metatrader 4 platform will not be functional. So here we've done everything correctly. I've inputted my login, my password, and the server is correct, and I just click Save Account Information, purely so that I don't have to recall it every time. So we log in, everything is awesome. So what we do here is we see that we are actually connected. If we weren't connected, it will say no connection, and this is either because you have no connection on your internet in terms of your connectivity to the internet, or you might have chosen the incorrect server. That's why the server is very important. So if you see here that your prices are not fluctuating, this could be one of two reasons. It's either because, like we said earlier, you're not connected, or it could be because you have filled your market watch list, which means there are too many prices, so the refresh rate gets stuck and the prices do not refresh. So in that case, you would just right click on the market watch like so, and you'd say hide all, and it'll either leave you with one symbol or two symbols, but it'll never hide all of the symbols. And then you'll notice that your prices will start fluctuating again. So now if we want to add a symbol, same process, we right click, we say symbols, and for example I want to add gold, I will click it, and then I'll say show, or I can just double click it and it'll immediately show. So let's just go ahead and double click it. There you go, you can see that it shows now. It will be highlighted as well, just to let you know that it is active in your market watch list. Okay, so then we close. Now if you want to similarly remove a certain symbol, we right click on it and you say hide. Or you can just go right click, symbols, and for example we want to hide gold, so I'm actually just going to add silver the other way. So I just click on it once and I say show. You can do it like that as well, and as you can see, it's highlighted. Now if I want to remove gold, either I right click on it and I say hide, or I right click on the pane again, I go find gold and I say hide, and it'll do it. So this is my market watch list. I'm starting with the euro dollar purely because it's the most familiar currency pair that everyone is familiar with, and we'll be using the euro dollar to run this presentation. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my euro dollar chart. If I want to open a different type of chart, I'll just go here, I'll say create new chart, and for example I'll click this one and it will update with the prices and it'll provide me that chart. If I want to change back to the euro US dollar chart, I go back down here and I click here. Now in trading, you get various types of presentations in terms of your chart. You have here your line chart, your bar chart, and your candlesticks. So line chart, candlesticks, bar chart. I'm on the bar chart now, but I want to make it candlesticks because purely there's a lot more information that candlesticks give you, as in the opening price, the closing price, and the highs and lows for that relative period. So I'll go ahead and click to make sure that it's a bar chart. Sometimes it does take some time, but you'll notice that when it is on a bar chart, each bar represents the time zone of which you're looking at. So if you're on a 1 hour chart, each candlestick represents 1 hour. If you're on a minute chart, each candlestick represents 1 minute. Okay, so here we have your line, here you have the bar, and here's the candlestick. And as we zoom in, we can see the candlesticks. So the wicks over here are your outliers, so your highs and your lows of the minute, because we're on a minutely chart. So each candlestick represents a minute, and this would be, for example, over here, this would be the opening price, this would be closing, and this is the highest and the lowest. The wick is the highest and the lowest, and then obviously it would open again, and it would close, and the wick again represents the highest and the lowest prices for that minute. So as you can see here, this is the latest one, and this is how the prices are fluctuating in the current minute. When the current minute ends, the candlestick will be complete and the next candlestick will start. So that's just a brief understanding of candlesticks. Now let's go down to the navigator pane. Okay, so this is where all your account details are. So for example, here you have your account. So here you can see the server. It's not only for your account details, but it's also for the certain scripts that you add, indicators, expert advisors, as we mentioned. Okay, so here with the drop-down list, we have all our indicators that we have: Ichimoku, RSI, stochastic, MACD. These are all our indicators, and we'll go into them a little bit later just to see how to add and remove and things like that. But this is pretty much your indicators and your expert advisors, or any programs that you have, scripts, etc. But we won't go into that now. Over here we have our terminal, and here you can see we have our balances on our accounts. So this is our trades. So when I open a trade will populate over here with the time of the trade, the type, whether we bought or sold, the lot size. So as you guys know or may not know, there's minimum trade sizes in trading Forex as well as CFDs, and we'll get into that as well. The symbol, so if it's Euro, US dollar, it will pop up here. The price at which we bought or sold, the stop loss, take profits, the price at which it is currently. You will only see it obviously once we open the trade. The commissions that we pay, and the swap. The swap is rollover, and that is the money that you either incur or that you pay for holding a position overnight. So if I buy the euro dollar today and I only sell it tomorrow, I will either pay a swap or a rollover, or I will receive a rollover depending on my position of the trade, whether I've bought or whether I've sold. We can go into rollover at a later stage, and I'll probably go into it more in a more advanced Metatrader 4 seminar or webinar. But yeah, implications do incur in terms of rollover. So now these are the different tabs. So this is our exposure in terms of margins and things like that. We'll go into that. Account histories, obviously I haven't really traded on this account, so there's no deposits, withdrawals. It is a demo account after all. News feeds, alerts, mailboxes, and all these things here are all nice to haves, but mainly we look at the trading and the account history and the exposure. So this is just another thing to keep in mind. So we've gone through the symbols. Let's dive into straight away of how to place a trade. Okay, so we'll go up here, we'll say new order, okay, and we'll click the new order. As we are on the euro dollar graph, this automatically populates as the euro dollar. You can change it if you want, but let's just focus on the euro dollar now. This is your volume. As mentioned earlier, there's minimum trade sizes in Forex and CFDs. So in terms of Forex here, our minimum trade size is 0.01. What this means is we are trading a micro lot. So you get three types of lot sizes. Micro lot, which is a bundle of 1,000. Then you get a mini lot, which is a bundle of 10,000. And then you get the standard lot, which is a bundle of 100,000. And what this means is that you're trading this currency, those currencies at a certain volume. So you're trading 1,000 at a time, 10,000 at a time, or 100,000 at a time, or anything in between. This is where Metatrader 4 can get a bit confusing, because 0.01 is indicative of the micro lot, which is 1,000. So when you're trading, so we say we place a trade here on the Euro USD, we're trading 1,000 of that currency at a time. So that's just one thing to remember. So 0.01 is 1,000, 0.1 is 10,000, which is a mini lot, and then 1 is a standard lot, which is 100,000. So I'm just going to start off with 0.01, a micro lot, which is 1,000, and over here you say whether you want to sell or whether you want to buy, and here you input your stop loss and your take profit. Okay, so let's just go into that quickly. So we'll put our, I'm gonna buy it, so I'm just gonna put my stop loss down here just to show you guys how it happens, and my profit over here, take profit. Okay, let me just take down my stop loss even further, and we're gonna buy. There we go, everything is done, perfect. We say okay, and there we go. So we see here that we bought at this price here, this green line. This red line is our take profit. As you can see, it says TP, take profit. So this is in the good case scenario. Okay, my trade just closed, but as you could see, that the reason why it actually closed was because one of my orders were met, whether it was my take profit or my stop loss. But it is depicted on the graph itself as well. So let's go take a look here. So I bought, okay, so it tells us that we bought. The size is a micro lot, as we mentioned earlier. The euro US dollar, we bought at this price. The stop loss was here. Our take profit was here. And because the take profit was reached, it executed the trade at this time. And I didn't record any rollover, obviously, because I haven't held the position overnight. And there we go. I made a nice little profit of 0.09. Okay. So very simple. So I'm just going to run through it again. This time I'll take out the stop loss and the take profit just to show you guys. Now, say we buy, okay, and what enable maximum deviation for quoted price means is that I'm allowing the trade to get executed within a range. Okay, so it won't be at the exact price. It could be, but not necessarily. So because I've given it 80 pips range, that means it'll either execute 80 pips above the current price or 80 pips below the current price. Again, another thing about Metatrader 4 is that it could get confusing, and this is why. Because maximum deviation of 80 pips, what it actually means is that 80 pips on Metatrader 4 means 8 actual pips. Okay, so if we make this 10 pips here, this 10 pips on Metatrader 4 actually means 1 pip. So if you want 10 pips deviation, which is usually what traders do, you make this 100 so that you give 10 pips deviation plus or minus the current price. Okay, so I'll buy, so we say buy, okay, we say okay, and this is where I've bought. So I'm at this position here. So this is my position. So as you can see, my account history, this trade that I just opened only populates once the trade is closed. But here you can see the open trades. Okay, so the reason why I'm on a bit of a loss here is because of the commission. Okay, here it says that we've bought. Here we have the size again, the micro, Euro, USD, etc., etc. Same story. So here it tells me how much where I placed the order, and I can close it from here. If I just say here, right click, and I say close order, it will close the order. So I say close, and then if I want to close it completely, I'll just say close. If I want to close it partially, I'll just edit the volumes here. So let me just close this again. Okay, so that's how you've closed it. It shows my balance again, my equity, and my free margin. The free margin is the amount of margin that I have available to enter a trade. So you need margin every time you enter a trade. Be very careful. You don't want your free margin to drop below 0. So what happens is we're going to place a new order. I'm going to enter in a bigger order amount just to show you guys how to actually partially close. Okay, so I think the reason why it didn't work is because the price wasn't around. There we go. Okay, so we've bought again. Okay, but now I want to partially close it. Why? So say for example I'm in profit, but I for example like I am here, I'm in profit. I want to lock in this profit, but I do want to see where it will go even further. So further down the line I'm thinking, okay, cool, it's going to make even more profit. So I want to lock in what I have at the moment, but I do want to see how the trade will run in case I make even more profit. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll right click, I'll say close order, and then I'll halve it, for example. So half of 0.1 is 0.05, and then I'll just say close, and there we go, half of my position is closed. So as you can see here, we bought, the size is now 0.05 because I initially bought a 0.1 position. I partially closed it, I closed half of it, and now I have the other half outstanding. So I'm still actually in the market. I just locked in what I had previously. Okay, so this is a nice little function that you can use, especially for locking in profits. Okay, so that was the orders and the sizes. So now if you want to place an order at some time in the future, so if you don't like this price, you want to buy it at some point in the future, you'll say pending order, okay, and then you'll select the price. So here we would select any price that we want, and then we'd place it. Okay, here we have an expiry, so if we want this pending order to sit only for a day, and if the price doesn't reach in that day, then we will just cancel the order, or actually it will expire. You click here, you set a date and time, and when that date is reached and the time is reached, the order will get cancelled if the price hasn't been met. Now you might get an error, which is because of the type of pending order, and I'll just run through when you should use which. So if you're putting a buy limit, this means that you want to buy at a lower price at the current one. Okay, so that's a buy limit. Okay, now if you want to sell at a higher price than the current one, you would say sell limit. Okay, so this is wanting to sell at a higher price than the current one. If you want to buy at a higher price than the current one, you'd say stop buy. And if you want to sell at a lower price than the current one, you'll say sell stop. If you don't select these correct ones, the pending order will give you an off quote error. Okay, so I'll just run it through again. Buy limit, you want to buy at a lower price than the current one. Stop buy, you want to buy at a higher price than the current one. Sell limit, you want to sell at a higher price than the current one. And stop sell, you want to sell at a lower price than the current one. Okay, so that's just a little example of how to do it. So pending orders at some point, this is at some point at the future, executing a trade at some point in the future. Okay, so we've gone through the pending orders, the order types and the sizes, the partial and the full closing. Let's go add some indicators. Okay, so we go here to our navigator pane, we click the down arrow, and let's just say we want the stochastic. So what we do is we click it once, we hold it, and we just drag onto the platform, onto the graph. Okay, here we have your period and anything here that might interest you, colors, levels, all this information. But usually we just click OK, and there you go, the indicator is populated. Okay, now if you want to add another stochastic, for example, onto the same stochastic graph, you would just click and you would drag it onto the stochastic graph. If I had to drag it over here onto the normal graph of the price of the currency, it would just add the same one. As you can see, it's duplicated here. Okay, but let's just delete that, and I'll just overlap it this way. Okay, and in order for us to see the difference, I'll just change the period, which means that it will just move at a higher or slower rate compared to the other one. So let's just make it 10. And then obviously we want to see the different colors. So I'll just change it to yellow, and I'll change the other one to, let's make it red. Okay. No, sorry, the other one was red. Let's just make it green. Okay. And there we go. We have two of the same, two different indicators on the same graph. Okay. You might want to do this, you may not, but I'm just putting it in there so that you guys are aware. Okay. Now, in order to delete the indicator, you just right-click on it, and you say Delete Indicator Window, and there you go. Okay. So now that's indicators. Very simple, very straightforward. Now, if you want to add an expert advisor or a robot, as many of you know it, which is pretty much a automated trading program which will trade on your behalf according to some sort of metrics, be it indicators or scripts that a programmer has written himself, but we'll get into that later. But just to add the MACD expert advisor, so this expert advisor will trade on my behalf according to the MACD indicator. So I just, same concept, click and drag, I say OK, and as you can see that says MACD, and it has a little sad face. The reason why it has a sad face is because it won't trade now, because auto trading is not enabled. So what do? I go up here and I click auto trade. Okay, you will notice that it's still sad. So what we actually have to do is we'll right click, we'll say expert advisors, we'll say properties, and here we'll have to say allow live trading and allow DLL imports, and we click OK, and now he's happy. So now he's going to trade based on the MACD indicator. Okay, if you want to delete your expert advisor, you just right click, say expert advisors, and remove, and because there's no more face here anymore, you know that it's removed. Okay, so that's just the auto trading. Okay, now let's play around with the graph a bit. I personally don't enjoy having this grid, so what I'll do is I'll right click, I'll remove the grid like so, or if it's easier for you, it doesn't really matter which way you do it, you just change the color of the grid and make sure that it's the same color as the background. Either way is fine, it doesn't really matter, whichever you prefer. Okay, so now for example I want to change the colors of my candles. So when the candle is increasing, it'll be green, and when it's decreasing, it'll be red. So I right click, I say properties, and this is where we have to edit it. So now bar is if you have a bar graph. Candle is if you have a candle graph, candlestick graph. And a line graph, obviously, if you have a line graph. Okay, so I have a candle graph, so I'm looking at these two. Bull, meaning that the price is going up. So if the price is going up, I want it green. Okay, let's make it a nice forest green. There we go. And if it's a bear, which means that it's going down, and let's just make it a red. Okay, and then everything else, I like it the way it is. Maybe the background, if you wanted, you can change it to yellow, but I usually keep it black. Okay, so I just say OK, and there we go. Right, so that's pretty much, you know, playing around with the graph a bit. Right click properties, and here you have all sorts of nice things that you can see. Colors is the main attraction here. So I mean, these are some nice little tips and tricks. Here you have your crosshair, so you click it, and it allows you to navigate easier. It gives you horizontal and vertical lines to give you prices and days. If you click it and you drag, you see your pips and the price changes. So it is a nice little handy tool. Here, if you want to draw a vertical line, you just go to here and you click vertical line. If you want to draw a trend line, you know, you do it like so. And then if you just want to remove it, you just right click on it and you remove it. So I mean, these are just some cool little concepts that may provide you know, useful in terms of your trading. So now if we want to save this template, so let's just actually go add another indicator. Okay, add an indicator, and we want to save this. Okay, we like it the way it is. We don't want to touch anything, and when we open it next time, we close the computer, we go to bed, the next morning we wake up, we want to see exactly what we have here because we've played with it and we've set it up perfectly. We'll just have to save the template. So what do? You right click, you say templates, you say save template, and you name your template. As you can see here, there's quite a few saved ones, but we just say save, and it's saved. So now when you open your platform again, and if it's not the way you left it, you just right click, you say templates, load template, and you select the template, you say open, and there you go. You can see my template now has changed because I changed it. So this is pretty much it from my side. If you guys do have any questions, you can feel free to message me on the webinar, or feel free to send me an email. And in the near future, I'll be doing more advanced webinars as well regarding Metatrader 4, as well as some educational ones in terms of, you know, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and things like that. So I'll be very interactive with you guys. So if you do have any questions, please let me know. But for now, I'll just open the floor to you guys. So if you do have any questions, just let me know. And I'll end the webinar session in a couple of minutes. Thank you for your time, and hope to hear from you guys soon. I'm actually going to Okay, guys. It seems like there's no questions. If you do have anything further that pops in your mind at a later stage, like I said, you can email me or call in. It's not a problem. We'll be more than happy to assist. Till then, good luck with the trades and all the best.